Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Pointy Not Sharp. Today we're taking a look at the polished MSBS GROT Bayonet. Now this bayonet is made to fit pretty much the one rifle in a bunch of different configurations. So it's made to fit the MSBS GROT C. The C stands for conventional, and that's the GROT in the conventional format. It can also be converted into a bullpup format, and that's called the MSBS GROT B. And it'll also fit the MSBS GROT R, which is the representative or honor guard version of that rifle. Now there is a fourth version, and that's the MSBS GROT S for civilian semi-auto. That version doesn't take this bayonet. It doesn't have a bayonet lug at all. I don't know if that's something that can be added later, or if that's something that's just a permanent fixture that's missing from the rifle, but that's how it is. Anyway, the bayonet itself is made by Fabryka Brody, or FB, in Radom in Poland, and they've been produced since about 2018, properly produced. There are a couple before that, prototypes and things like that, trials. The exact number that have been made is unknown, but the Polish military has approximately 1 million people, including reserves and all branches, so I assume that's how many will be produced. They haven't produced that many rifles yet, because they're still phasing them in and replacing their older rifles. Now, we'll jump into the history very quick. Poland was part of the Warsaw Pact during the Cold War, and like the rest of the Warsaw Pact, they were using their own manufactured AKs. And after the fall of the Soviet Union in the early 90s, they started standardizing to come in line with NATO. So they introduced in 1997 the Beryl, which was an AK in 5.56, and then in 2007 they started the MSBS program, and that was a program to bring in a rifle that was compliant with pretty much all of the NATO STANAGs, or standard agreements. So in 2017 they accepted this bayonet and the MSBS rifle. And in 2018, they started production and slowly started replacing the Beryl rifles. Now, with the older AK bayonets, this is what they were using. If you're familiar with AK bayonets, it's pretty standard. Just your bakelite handle, stainless steel blade, no sawback. This is what everyone in the Warsaw Pact, or nearly everyone in the Warsaw Pact, was using, and pretty radical change to what they've gone to here. In 2022, 10,000 of the rifles, and I assume the bayonets as well, were sent to Ukraine as military aid. And I'm guessing they're probably also sent there for trials as well, to see how they actually perform in combat, to get some free feedback. Also in 2022, on the 9th of May, it was announced that an unknown number of rifles would be supplied to an unknown country in East Africa. Again, I assume with the bayonets as well. Now, these bayonets are a commercially available product. You can buy them direct from the manufacturer, I think. No, through suppliers, sorry. And they come with a product code of 325-00-000-C for Charlie 00. And they sell for about $205 the supplies that I've seen, but prices tend to vary. And on eBay, they tend to sell for a lot more than that. Now, there is also a ceremonial version of this bayonet here, and that's one with a blade that is polished and in the white. Now, we'll jump into the construction. This bayonet did surprise me a bit. So when I looked at photographs of this initially, it looked a lot bigger than it actually is. When I actually got my hands on one, they're a fair bit smaller than I was expecting. The handle is a little bit on the small side for me, but again, I'm 6'3", and my hands are a bit bigger than the average. But we'll start with the blade. I don't know what kind of steel it is. It's reasonably hard, but very lightweight. It doesn't weigh too much at all. False edge, unsharpened, very thin spine, as you can see. I'm not sure what kind of bluing or finish that is. Probably some kind of very heavy blue, I'm not too sure. I've got a sharpened true edge. Got a little serrated section down here. I don't really know what this is. Maybe it's a recess for your thumb when you're using it, I don't know. And instead of a crossguard, we've got this little hook here, and that actually hooks onto the muzzle of the rifle. And then we've got plastic grips, which are constructed of two plastic molded pieces, which are sealed together in the center. You can see the seam. There's no markings or anything on there at all. And then the pommel is really strange. It's got its own unique attachment device that I've never seen on any other kind of bayonet. So this bayonet can be fitted either to the top or bottom of the rifle, or the barrel, sorry, depending on the variant. So it generally goes underneath the conventionals and up above on the bullpups. But you got this little rail here which slides onto a lug, and then I assume this is our locking surface here. So that's what engages with a locking lug on the rifle. So very lightweight, not nearly as big and chunky as I was expecting. Compared to the Russian 6X9, it's probably half the weight. It's very light. Now, taking a look at the scabbard, there is a little bit going on here. So on the back, we've got a nylon frog with a Velcro belt loop. We've got a hilt strap with just a simple snap on it, if that wants to go on, not right now. Then we've got a scabbard with like serrations down the side. I'm not really sure what the serrations are for. Maybe you can attach something to them, probably not. Really cool. I've got the FB Radom logo on the base of the scabbard here, which I like quite a lot. So pre-Warsaw Pact, that's the logo that Radom were using. Then during the Warsaw Pact, they went to Circle 11, which was like the Polish arsenal. And then after the end of the Warsaw Pact, they went back to this FB logo. Now, there is something pretty cool about this scabbard. It's actually got two pieces to it. So if you press down on these like little ears on the back here, like a little locking surface in here, and you can pull the body of the scabbard out. And the reason for that is it can be used as a wire cutter. See, we've got a little wire cutter assembly here at the end of the scabbard. And just like the AK bayonets, goes through there, you stick your wire through that little recess and snip. Now, this feels a lot cheaper, or a lot flimsier and weaker than a lot of the others, I felt. Like the British L3A1 probably has the strongest and most robust wire cutter I've come across. The M9s aren't too bad either. The AKs are pretty good, but this is definitely probably the flimsiest I've come across. Certainly the lightest. I'd be worried about breaking that if I was trying to cut some really thick gauge of wire. Like, that just rattles around a lot. So that's the construction of the bayonet. Really cool. I'd love to get my hands on a ceremonial one as well, just to see if there's any differences. Finally, we'll just jump into the markings, and sadly we don't have any markings on it. Now, this is a commercially purchased one. I don't know if the military ones have additional markings on them, like serial numbers or government acceptance marks or anything like that, but these ones are pristine. There's no markings on the ricasso, on the blade. There's absolutely nothing on the bayonet itself at all. Likewise, the inner scabbard, no markings on it at all. No, I tell a lie. We've got like a little manufacturer's wheel there. They're usually used to designate date of manufacture. And then we also have our manufacturer's logo on the base of the outer scabbard. Still a really cool little bayonet. Like, it'd make a very handy field knife. Considering that the Russians have made, the 6X9, which is such high quality, this is a little bit behind, in my opinion. It's still a modern bayonet, but I feel they could have done a little bit of a better job, but they've let me down a little bit. Anyway, guys, that's really all I've got to say about it. Even though it's disappointed me a little bit, I still quite like it. I love the inner and outer scabbard design. Still very cool. And if I've made any mistakes, or if you're from Poland and you've actually used these, let me know what your impression is. Please comment below, and thanks for watching.